Have you ever wondered why, no matter what time you go to bed, your eyes snap open at 3 in the morning and stay that way? It sounds like a minor inconvenience, but according to a comprehensive clinical analysis published in peer-reviewed geriatric literature, this pattern of consistent early morning awakening is one of the most significant and underreported health signals in adults over 60. And here's what makes it truly alarming. The 5 most common causes are almost never the ones your doctor checks for. In fact, most seniors who experience this have been told it's simply part of getting older, and that dangerous acceptance is quietly costing them their health, their memory, and potentially years of their lives. So what is your body really trying to tell you at 3 a.m.? Which hidden cause is the most dangerous of all? And what are the simple, science-backed steps you can start tonight to finally sleep through to morning? We're going to answer all of that in this video, and I promise by the end, you'll understand your body in a way no one has ever explained to you before. Cause number 2 is the one that shocks people most. Do not skip ahead. And before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. We are so glad you found us. Hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a video that could change your health. And drop your country in the comments right now. We love seeing where our community is watching from all around the world. Let's get into it. Before we get to the 5 causes, I need to spend 2 minutes on what is actually happening inside your body every time this pattern repeats. Because once you understand the real cost, you'll stop treating a 3 a.m. wake-up as a minor annoyance and start treating it as the health priority it truly is. Research published in peer-reviewed sleep medicine journals confirms that total sleep time decreases by roughly 27 minutes per decade from midlife onward, and it's during those lost hours of deep sleep that your brain runs a critical waste removal process, flushing out the same harmful proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your heart relies on a nightly blood pressure drop to recover. Your immune system rebuilds. Your muscles receive the growth hormone they need to stay strong and prevent falls. When you lose those hours night after night, the damage compounds in ways you can't see, until one day you can. So let's make sure that day never comes. Here are the 5 reasons you're waking up at 3 a.m. Reason 5: melatonin collapse. Reason number 5: your melatonin has nearly disappeared and you had no idea. Melatonin is the hormone your brain produces to signal that night has arrived and deep sleep should begin. Most people know it declines with age. What most people have never been told is how catastrophic that decline actually is. By age 70, the average adult produces roughly 10% of the melatonin they produced at age 20. Not 70%, not half, 10%. Here's the mechanism. Your pineal gland, the tiny structure in your brain that produces melatonin, progressively calcifies with age. This process is visible on brain scans and is nearly universal by the late 60s. With so little melatonin being released, the signal that tells your brain the night has arrived, stay in deep sleep, is faint and short-lived. You fall asleep, but the signal fades early, and by 3 a.m., there is nothing left to anchor you in sleep. Your eyes open, and they stay open. But the dangers don't stop there. The single biggest external driver making this collapse worse is something you're probably doing right now without realizing it. Light exposure in the 2 hours before bed. Blue spectrum light from phones, tablets, televisions, and LED bulbs directly suppresses melatonin release in real time. According to sleep research, just 20 minutes of phone use in bed can delay melatonin onset by up to 90 minutes, compressing your window of deep sleep and causing you to surface into wakefulness in the early morning hours. So what can you do? Start a strict darkness protocol 90 minutes before your intended sleep time. No overhead LED lighting, no phone, no tablet. Use warm, dim lamps instead. And if you choose to supplement with melatonin, research supports a dose of just 0.3 to 0.5 milligrams, far smaller than the 5 mg and 10 mg doses commonly sold. At the correct dose, it signals the brain that night has arrived. It doesn't sedate, it cues. That distinction matters enormously for seniors. Reason number 4. Your internal body clock has shifted and it's waking you up on purpose. This is one of the most common causes of the 3 a.m. wake-up in seniors, and yet it is almost never discussed. It's called advanced sleep phase disorder, and according to Stanford Healthcare and the Sleep Health Foundation, it becomes significantly more common after age 60, affecting roughly 1% of middle-aged to older adults, though many more cases go undiagnosed. Here is what's happening inside you. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock in your brain, loses sensitivity to environmental cues like light as you age. Your internal clock begins completing its sleep-wake cycle in less than 24 hours, causing it to shift forward by several hours. The result? Your body genuinely believes morning has arrived at 2, 3, or 4 a.m. It triggers a cascade of hormones designed to wake you up, and it does, right on schedule, every single night. Research has also identified mutations in specific clock genes, PER2 and CK1 delta, that can accelerate this shift even further. The fix is not more sleep medication. It's resetting the clock itself. Getting bright outdoor light exposure in the late afternoon or early evening can push your clock back toward a more normal timing. Conversely, if you wake at 3 a.m., avoid turning on bright lights or screens. That light reinforces the early phase and makes the problem worse. This one behavioral change, done consistently for 2 weeks, can meaningfully shift your waking time later. Reason number 3. A hidden blood sugar event is jolting you awake, and most doctors never check for it. Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., your body undergoes a significant metabolic shift as it prepares for the waking day. For many seniors, this shift goes dangerously wrong in one of 2 ways, and both can snap you wide awake. The first is called the Somogyi effect. If your blood sugar drops too low during the night due to skipped meals, alcohol consumption, or medication, your body panics. It releases a surge of counter-regulatory hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, and glucagon. This hormonal flood is your body's emergency response, and it works exactly the way an alarm should. It wakes you up, heart pounding, mind racing, unable to get back to sleep. The second is called the dawn phenomenon, a natural rise in blood sugar between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. triggered by your body's circadian rhythm preparing for wakefulness. In a healthy system, insulin handles this rise smoothly. But as we age, insulin sensitivity declines. If your body can't counteract the surge with sufficient insulin, blood sugar spikes, and the resulting restlessness pulls you out of sleep. Clinicians often recommend monitoring blood glucose around 2 or 3 m to distinguish between the two. A low reading suggests the Somogyi effect, while a normal or elevated reading points to the dawn phenomenon. But the danger doesn't stop at disrupted sleep. Chronic blood sugar instability overnight is linked to accelerated cognitive decline, cardiovascular strain, and worsening diabetes outcomes. To stabilize things naturally, eat a light, protein-rich snack before bed, something like Greek yogurt or a small amount of nut butter, and take a gentle walk after dinner to improve insulin sensitivity. Reason number 2, and this is the one that affects more seniors than any other. Your cortisol is rising too early, and it's hijacking your sleep. Cortisol is your primary stress and alertness hormone. In a healthy rhythm, it reaches its lowest point around midnight and then begins a gradual rise between 2 and 4 a.m. to prepare your body for the waking day. In a young, healthy adult, this gradual rise doesn't wake you up. But in older adults, particularly those carrying chronic low-grade stress, something very different happens. According to research on cortisol and the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis, chronic stress causes the system to become hyperresponsive. When the natural 3 a.m. cortisol rise occurs, instead of being a gentle signal, it overflows, triggering the sympathetic nervous system, spiking your heart rate and blood pressure, and jolting you fully awake. And because cortisol is also designed to maintain alertness, falling back asleep becomes nearly impossible. Here is what makes this so dangerous for seniors specifically. The background anxiety that drives this, worry about health, finances, family, the future, is often so constant and so normalized that people no longer even label it as stress. It feels like their baseline. But it is silently elevating their cortisol every single night, compressing their deep sleep, robbing their brain of its waste-clearing cycle, and over months and years, raising their risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and immune dysfunction. Research also shows that even moderate alcohol consumed in the evening dramatically disrupts cortisol rhythm, causing a rebound alertness spike between 2 and 4 a.m. And light pollution filtering into the bedroom, even small amounts from streetlights or electronics, can trigger early cortisol release. The most powerful intervention: morning sunlight. Getting 10 minutes of direct outdoor light within 30 minutes of waking, not through a window, but outside, resets your cortisol rhythm forward by anchoring your brain's sense of when morning actually is. Done consistently for 2 weeks, research shows this can push the cortisol rise later, back toward its proper 6 or 7 timing. Additionally, writing down one worry on paper before bed and physically closing the notebook has been shown to measurably reduce overnight cortisol, not because the problem is solved, but because the brain responds to the symbolic act of containment. Reason number 1. Your bladder isn't the problem, your legs are. Millions of seniors wake at 3 a.m. needing to urinate and assume the problem is their bladder, their prostate, or simply how much they drank that evening. They restrict fluids before bed, and the problem barely improves. That's because they're addressing the wrong organ entirely. Here's the true mechanism, backed by clinical urology and geriatric medicine research. During the day, when you're upright, fluid gradually accumulates in your lower legs, particularly if you have any degree of swelling or reduced circulation. When you lie down at night, that fluid reabsorbs back into your bloodstream. Your kidneys detect the sudden increase in blood volume and respond by producing urine. This reabsorption peaks between 1 and 3 a.m., which is exactly when you find yourself rushing to the bathroom every single night, and it has very little to do with what you drank 2 hours ago. Restricting evening fluids actually makes things worse. Dehydration concentrates urine, which irritates the bladder wall and creates urgency on even smaller volumes. But the real fix is elegant and simple. Drain the fluid from your lower legs before you go to sleep. 60 to 90 minutes before bed, lie on your back and elevate your feet above the level of your hips using pillows under your calves. Hold that position for 15 minutes, doing slow ankle flexes and taking deep belly breaths. This combination moves the accumulated fluid back into circulation while you're still awake, so your kidneys process it before you sleep, not during it. When you stand up afterward, you'll feel the urge to urinate within 20 to 30 minutes. That's the fluid leaving your body on your schedule, not waking you up at 3 a.m. on its own. Waking up at 3 a.m. every night is not your body giving up on rest. It is not simply what getting older feels like. It is a set of specific, identifiable signals, each one with a concrete, actionable answer that most people have simply never been given. Your brain needs those deep hours to clean itself. Your heart needs the nightly pressure drop. Your immune system, your memory, your balance, they all run their maintenance cycles at night. Give your body the conditions it needs, and the difference will show up in your energy, your clarity, and the quality of every hour you are awake. So tell us in the comments, which of these 5 causes do you think is waking you up at 3 a.m.? We read every single comment. And if someone you love has simply accepted broken sleep as their new normal, share this video with them tonight. The answer they've been searching for is right here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We release new health content every week designed specifically for adults over 60. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay strong, and take good care of yourself.